Good morning. I believe I'm live. I see a couple people sitting in the room already. Thank you so much for coming in. Kaylee, I can't wait either. I'm excited for this. If you don't know, we are going to be, I'm going to be interviewing Suanne Carlson from HOWA. I'm just going to say hi to a few people first. I see our guest in the basement, and I'm just going to say a couple hellos, Suanne. Van Vita Travels, thank you for coming, Paula. Glad you're here. Jim Bertrand, always very happy to see you. And Catherine Cook, hello. And let's see who else is down here. There's Jim. Okay, Sissy's Journey. James Cantonese, Where Are V Staying? Very fun name. And we've got Linda Barker. Good morning, Linda. Thank you for coming in. Fantastic Travels. You know, I was literally getting out of bed at 8:45. I could not. I was very tired this morning. Tracy Carroll, thank you for coming in. And then we've got Jim again. And we've got Alberta Hinksman. Thank you for coming, Alberta. TGIF, I'm so happy you're here. Boondocking with Boomer. Thank you. Is it Boomer or is it Lance? And then we've got Modern King, my son, Brent. And I think we're going to stop with there for now. Couple things, couple of housekeeping items first. And I've lost her from the basement. Come back, come back. Please share this out today. This is going to be a good interview, and I'm excited for her to be heard and for her information to get out. So share this out to your social media, your community tab, your Facebook, whatever, because Suanne is going to be a great source of information. Roy and Becky's Travels, hello. And also, if you haven't had a chance to hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. I don't know, maybe you have. Just a reminder, because sometimes I forget to do that myself. Okay, so she is down here, or at least I see her down here, kind of. While we're, yeah, just I don't want to pull her up before she's ready. So Suanne, if you can hear me, when you're ready, come back on and give me a wave. In the meantime, I'm going to share some information about what we're talking about. Some of you, hello, Fordman, aka Kenneth Oakes, and Ava Potterfield. Thank you. Share some information about what we're talking about. Hello, Fordman, aka Kenneth. Must turn my own phone down. Okay. So Going Green Mom, thank you for coming in. I hope she's not having trouble holding the link, because I've lost her again already. And I'm going to be very sad, as this is a lady who's got some very good information. So I'm going to, for the moment, share the screen. I'm going to pull up some information I would like you to all hear. So we're going to be talking to, as you all know, Suanne Carlson from Homes on Wheels Alliance. And I just want to make sure you can see this. So I'm going to read what Homes on Wheels Alliance, what I think the mission statement is. And while we're waiting for Suanne, what this says is, and this was from Bob, but this is about Homes on Wheels Alliance, and she's here representing that today in part. Thank you so much for your interest in Homes on Wheels Alliance nonprofit. I'm humbled that you're interested in learning about our small part in advancing the well-being of the amazing people we feel called to help. As you may know by now, we are devoted to the purpose of offering an alternative lifestyle in alternative housing. While one of our primary goals is to help people find a way to survive in difficult economic situations, we are equally devoted to creating a new community with a new attitude towards society and to the earth. A key element of everything we strive to do is that we never approach anyone as a client to be pitied or merely a person to be offered compassion in a difficult time, nor are we just offering a hand up. Just the opposite. We see them in the light of Thoreau's famous quote, "The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. What is called resignation is confirmed desperation." Henry David Thoreau. With those who come to us, we are honoring a person who has made a hard decision to no longer be resigned to a life of quiet desperation. While it is true that for nearly all of our new friends, there is an element of running away from a bad situation, there is also an excitement of running towards something that is worth the risk. That's how I feel. They are making a leap of faith into a whole new world and a whole new way of thinking about life, money, and the things we own. It is truly an unknown country full of unknown dangers and opportunities to fail, but they have mustered all their courage and reached deep down to find a store of hope and faith and made the leap off the cliff. At the Homes on Wheels Alliance, we never offer our new friends pity. We always offer them profound respect. Thank you again for your interest, and remember that together we are changing lives. Robert Wells, Homes on Wheels Alliance. So I thought that was important to read. All right, Suanne, are you ready to come up? Hi,
hello.
Can you hear me?
Breaking up really bad. I've tried different settings and yeah. I'm not hearing you real well.
You're not hearing me very well? I'm so sorry. No. Well, I just want to thank you for coming. So rather than listen to me, why don't we listen to you tell us about who you are, where you came from, and why you do what you do?
Okay, that's a big question. So I entered the nomadic lifestyle in 2009, and it was something brand new for me. Newly retired. My 29-year-old daughter had just passed from brain cancer. And I just, for some reason, I intuitively knew that I needed to hit the road and be in nature to heal. Mm-hmm. Something I had never done before. But it was listening to my heart definitely gave me the right direction to go. Mm-hmm. And so in preparing for that journey of healing is when I found the van dwelling community and Bob Wells' website. He wasn't a YouTuber at that time. That was in 2009. Uh-huh. And so I went off on a journey to explore the national parks. I figure you couldn't get much more nature than that, much more beautiful nature than that. And I did a 6-month national park tour in 2010. That's when I met Bob here in Pahrump, Nevada, and got involved in the van dwelling community. Never have had such close friends in my entire life. So that's kind of how I got started in the lifestyle. My my vehicle until just recently has been a Prius.
I know.
And that is that's actually what I'm in right now as I'm building out a van, a passenger van. And so I'm staying in the Prius. So I'm trying to kind of living out of two places right now. In my involvement in the van dwelling community, I decided that I really just didn't want to just be a taker. I wanted to be a giver too. So I got involved in Cheap RV Living, the forum and the RTRs, and started being involved in that, and became friends with Bob. And when he was ready, when the things started aligning to start a nonprofit, which ended up being Homes on Wheels Alliance, I was approached to be the executive director and co-founder of that. And so that's how that happened. That was in 2018. So I had 10 years of retirement, and then I jumped into my current executive director position, and have never been happier, never been busier. So it's a great privilege to be able to have this other career. Sure. And to serve this group of people who I have such a kinship with.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
that's my background.
you mentioned that the death of your daughter, there was something about nature that made you feel like that was how you were going to heal. And you just nailed something for me. My father passed in April. He was 94. He lived a very long, very good life, but I've been with him for the past 24 years. My husband and I have lived with him and cared for him the last 10 years. He started really going downhill. But at his request, we lived with him, and this is the house I grew up in as well. So I feel like the only way to heal, I honestly feel like I need to go and be, you just said it, out in nature and separate from what I know and do something completely unknown.
Yeah, for me, it was a kind of a, I don't even know how to explain it, a dual experience. So there was the experience of actually being on the road and traveling down the road. And for some reason, for me, that equated to expressing my grief, expressing my anger. Really, for me, just pouring my heart out to the universe, to my God, and really letting go and kind of bearing myself really raw and open. And then I would go to a national park and I would camp. And that was akin to the healing. It was the taking that open wound and letting it heal from the inside up. Sure, there's still scars there. I still miss my daughter dearly. And I also have a profound appreciation and for who she was as a person, the effect that she had on me, and the influence she had on people while she was alive. So with that grief comes a real appreciation and a gratitude that I didn't have before.
Mm-hmm. It's such a situation, losing a child. I can't imagine losing a child. And, I've lost two sisters, but it's not the same. I lost a nephew to suicide, I lost a sister in July, a nephew at the end of January, and then my sister's husband died unexpectedly the next 2 months. So there have been some really weird, that grief thing is huge, and it feels like sometimes we can't get out from underneath of it. So that alone is a big pusher, I think, for some people like yourself and myself to find a way to do it in a positive way, because I could bury myself in my bed, or I could do other things that are not useful, and I choose to try and find a healthy way. So you connected up with Bob Wells, and by the way, the genesis of so my husband and I are looking to go on the road in January. I let my son, this is how much I know it's going to happen. We don't have a rig yet, but I let my son use my truck as a down payment on a vehicle for himself.
Wow.
And I have that much faith that we're doing the footwork to make it happen, because it's a pull. It's like an internal pull to get out there and be a part of this. And it started with Bob for me. And it really does bring me to tears, because I was recovering from surgery, and a very serious back surgery. And I've had 12 in the last 10 years, and both knees replaced, had my knees replaced intentionally because I wanted to do this road life. And so I was trying to find, and also was short of money, and I was trying to find a way to pay bills. And I was looking at cheap living. Boom, up pops bills. And then I'm like, oh my God, where has that philosophy been my whole life? So from him, Box Van D, and from Box Van D to this particular community that I'm connected into now, and everybody else, and so he led me to you. And I'm overwhelmingly grateful to what you guys do. I'm not someone in need out there at this point, but the fact that you have a calling to help the people that are on the road. Do you want to talk a little bit about those things that you guys do at HOWA for someone on the road?
Sure. Well, I think we have kind of a two-prong emphasis in HOWA. One is to build up the general nomadic community, or the general mobile community. And we think of that in a very large scale. It's not just van dwellers, and it's not just RVers, or van lifers, it's all of us together. And so our vision is to really have us experience ourselves as a community, as a larger community, and do create emphasis on that in like our events, the RTRs, the caravans, those kind of things. And for those that don't know, the RTR stands for Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. And it is a gathering that Bob Wells began through Cheap RV Living in 2011. And so this year is actually our 11th annual RTR. It started off as a very small gathering of 40 people. Yeah. And the largest we've been is reports of like 10,000 people in 2018. And because we got so large, we have some challenges. And this year, because of COVID, we have a virtual RTR. We're doing classes.
Okay.
So we're trying to be responsive to the BLM and the situation with the pandemic. And so that is our kind of community emphasis. And it also includes this thing called the caravans, which pre-COVID is where we would scout out locations where people could camp together. And they'd camp together on public land, typically for 14 days. And then that particular group would move someplace else. And we would have up to, let's see, I think the most we've had is 7 different groups in 7 different locations. And so it's a great place for people who are new to the lifestyle, just to be with other people.
Right.
Just sit around the campfire with other people. Now with COVID, we have virtual campfires, not unlike what we're experiencing here. We use Zoom. And in those, it's really has been heartening to see the community pull together. I was at a women's virtual caravan a couple days ago, and we had 70 women there, if you can imagine. So it's really a really wonderful opportunity for people to connect virtually and make plans to connect in person. It's really, really nice.
Sure. I'm going to ask one of my moderator, Kaylee, if you could go to Homes on Wheels Alliance. I know there is a link to the caravan, to the virtual caravan or the virtual campfire. If you could find that link and drop it here. I've actually signed up for a couple of those, but something keeps coming in between those events and me getting there. And it's usually something that I can't not do. And so I can't wait to participate in that, because even though it's virtual, it's still getting that connection to people that are actually wanting to do or are doing the same things. Right.
So I can tell you verbally what that link is. And what we do is we use the software, the website Meetup, to do RSVPs. And so you RSVP there, and then you'll get a link to actually go to the Zoom meeting. And that link is Meetup, meetup.com/caravans. That's it. And you'll see it there. You do have to register for Meetup and then RSVP for the caravans, but it's a pretty painless process.
So I have a question to kind of delineate the two between Cheap RV Living and HOWA. So sometimes I get confused personally. I'm easily confused at times. So are they the same thing, or is one serve one purpose and one serve another?
Well, Cheap RV Living has been around a long time. I don't even know how many years. probably about 15. And it is an LLC, a limited liability corporation. It is a for-profit entity and is started by Bob Wells. He's the sole owner. And he has a website and a YouTube channel, with the YouTube channel being his primary emphasis now, where it used to be his website and forum. Homes on Wheels Alliance is a nonprofit 501c3. We are a corporation, so Inc. is after our name. And it is separate from Cheap RV Living. However, Cheap RV Living's owner, Bob Wells, is HOWA's president of the board of trustees, as well as a co-founder with myself. And we are very, very careful to keep the finances of the two apart. Right. Because Cheap RV Living legally cannot benefit from Homes on Wheels Alliance. But Cheap RV Living, and Bob Wells in particular, is a huge, huge sponsor of Homes on Wheels Alliance. And in fact, our first full year, which was 2019, Bob put about $70,000 into Homes on Wheels Alliance. We would not be around had Bob not done that.
Of his own money?
Of Cheap RV Living's, yes.
RV Living,
the money he made through Cheap RV Living. So we have a huge debt of thanks toward Bob.
Yes.
The good news is that that Homes on Wheels Alliance for 2020 has been self-sustaining and hasn't needed Bob's assistance.
Cool.
So the community has really come through and seen value in Homes on Wheels Alliance, and that just fills my heart with such gratitude. Yeah,
I'm not even involved at this point, and I feel I get chills because I think what you're doing is fabulous. And I've always, since I first started looking at this, I watched Bob nonstop for 6 months, probably not another show of any sort, not normal TV, because there was so much stuff there. The meat of this type of living, I mean, here I say this, and I say this proudly, he made me know I could poop in a bucket. And to get the end result of being able to be somewhere so beautiful as the places this country offers, and for some people across the world as well. So, you know, I'm not afraid of that idea anymore. You know, I prefer a toilet, but you know what? Bob made me think, what the hell am I so afraid of? It's just, you know, just crap.
Right. And you've had kids, so you know. Yeah. Right?
That's right. That's right.
No different.
No. So, one of the things, so there will be a WRTR and an RTR separately, virtually.
Correct.
And all that information is available at HOWA.
Right. HomesOnWheelsAlliance.org is the website, and we will keep that up to date. We are just about ready to publish the schedule of classes. So, and we're excited. I think it's going to be a really fun time. We're even going to have a talent show. So watch for that. Yeah, you can submit your talent. Okay. And we'll edit it all together and show it probably, I think, on the 18th is when that's scheduled.
Actually, we have someone very talented in here. Willaim Dickson sings beautiful. He sings beautiful. Oh, good golly, church songs, but old time church songs. You know, not the newer modern stuff, but he does beautiful, beautiful singing. He would be a great person to have on the talent show. So, yeah, one of the questions, there's so much information. Everybody's got an idea about it's not happening. I have heard that RTR was dead. It was never happening again. Last year was a flop. You know, that's the stuff that's heard and said by people who may not have even been present. So I know what I watched seems like to me last year was different than probably the year before, because guess what? I have never been able to be there. My goal is to be present in everything this year because I have a computer, in the 21.
Very good.
It was different, wasn't it?
It was different last year. We could not afford the BLM cost. The last estimate we got, it was going to be, I think, $320,000 for us to give a free event. So it was just way too much than we could afford. And I get it. The BLM has their own costs they have to cover. So, and personnel costs are expensive. So we tried something different. We tried to have the classes in a fairground, and it wasn't bad. We had up to, I would say, 750 there at the max per day, depending on the topic. And then people that came for the camping simply camped in the courtside areas at the 14-day camping areas. So it was a good try. Both Bob and I concur that we really missed having a large camping group that we've had in the past with the RTR, that kind of that community, really a community focus, as opposed to the education focus that we have in the classes. So we are trying to address that ourselves personally. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking some vacation days from HOWA from the 21st through the 26th, and inviting other women to just just because I want to personally camp with me. And that will be in actually the town of Bouse, which is fairly close to Quartzsite, on Plamosa Road.
Okay.
And for anybody that was at the physical WRTR in 2000, Women's RTR in 2019, it is where we camped for the WRTR.
Okay.
And so basically what I'm saying is, if anybody, it's about 450 acres. So it's quite a large, expansive area. People can create small groups to camp with, certainly under 10 people, 10 women each. And just find other women, find their sister nomads, and create community. It's just an announcement. Everybody, there's absolutely no organization, because if I had organization, I would have to get a permit.
That's right.
I'm not going to get a permit. It's just me. And it's just a time that hopefully people will make some connections. And I'll get to meet people face to face. I will be wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And I will ask that people keep that 6 foot distance.
Sure.
But we can still have some lovely chats.
Yes. I don't know if people are so, okay, so I disdain the mask. I disdain it. I hate it. I'm not even sure of how good it works. However, I'm respectful of the fact that I believe it's better than nothing. And I don't want to get sick. I mean, I'm not afraid of getting sick, but it's not like I'm going to go jump in the pool, oh, okay, COVID, here I come. I give it to you. So and I think that we're all adult people. I know how to wash my hands. I know how to use sanitizer. And I assume, you're a smart woman. You understand. And the people who are going to come and hang out with you are going to understand 6 feet, mask up, and, have a good time.
Right. And so Bob is doing something very similar himself.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, he's doing it from January 28th to February 3rd. And he's doing it at the location of the 2018 RTR, which is in Skadden Wash in Quartzsite.
Okay.
So again, he will probably, rather than actually camp there, he'll probably come there for a couple of hours each day, and just for a chance to meet people and encourage people to meet each other. That's really the most important thing.
Right.
And he also will ask people to wear masks and practice safe COVID precautions.
So for a little clarity, I travel I'll be traveling with my husband. So I'm assuming that they're welcome to be in their own little area, but the women's stuff is, we're going to be separating off and just hanging out with women. And if Richard and other men are there because, you know, we travel with them, they can go chat somewhere else.
Right, right.
Okay.
The idea is that for the women's, that it is a time for women to get to know other women.
Yeah.
We recognize that men are going to be there, like yourself. We have couples. In addition, this is just an open to the general public free camping area. So
Right.
there's going to be people there camping anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm sure many men. So it is not meant to be exclusively women, you know, geographically, if you will.
So the actual dates of the RTR again, I'm writing this information down. So the RTR itself, we'll start, I guess, WRTR is first, correct?
Okay. In the classes, the RTR is first.
Okay.
And I'm depending on my memory, so you'll have to double check me on the website.
All right.
It starts on the 14th.
Okay.
And the RTR goes for 10 days. So I think that would be
24th. 24th or 25th.
Yeah.
We'll check it out, but okay.
Okay. Would you? Yeah. Would you please? I do know this. The RTR is the first 10 days, and the WRTR is the last day and a half.
Okay.
So for the RTR, we'll have 10 sessions, one at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and another at 2 p.m. And for the and that'll be for each of the 5. Oh, excuse me. That's the problem. It's 5 days for the RTR, 10 sessions. That's why it wasn't adding up for me. So 5 days for the RTR and a day and a half for the WRTR.
Okay. That's going to be nice. And that it's virtual and that anybody can participate. You know, I didn't get to participate last. I knew it was what I wanted to do, but I couldn't participate last year because I live in Eugene, Oregon, you know?
Yes.
So, let's see. I know we have a question here. I guess we could address that easily. Could Suanne explain the Zoom to us, please?
Okay. The Zoom is similar to what you're experiencing here. And it is basically a video conferencing system. And you go to, and this is for the virtual caravans. So when I'm talking Zoom, you're given a link in Meetup and you click on that link and it takes you into a web page. Very similar, I'm guessing very similar to what we're experiencing here. Yep. And you then participate. Instead of just 2 people, it's, you know, up to 70 people. And we have a protocol where we have people raise their hands. There's a function that you raise your hands in Zoom and the facilitator calls on you. And then there's kind of like a free-for-all in the last half hour where people just talk. And it's really, it works much, much better than I expected, actually.
Yeah, there's a particular group of people I meet with irregularly, and we do it via, since the whole illness issue has cropped up, we do it via Zoom, and it's super simple. I thought, oh my God, this is not going to work. I'm not technically inclined. I'm better at it than I used to be, but we can choose to see each other all at once. Some people don't even want to be seen and they just are voice. So I really like Zoom. It's a great alternative and it does feel very close to being present.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Now, I will say that the RTR and the WRTR classes that we're going to have will be on Homes on Wheels Alliance YouTube channel.
Okay.
Not on Zoom.
Okay.
And they will be live. And we will have a question and answer afterwards. So to go to those classes, all this will be on the website. Yeah. To go to those classes, you'll go to the Homes on Wheels Alliance YouTube channel. And then when the question and answer period is open, we'll open the live chat and people can then type in their questions and we'll forward them to the speaker.
Yeah. So just for Kaylee, are the dates posted on the site? Yes, I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if there's anything else. Any particular specific questions? I have to learn how to use Zoom. You know what, Sissy? If you wanted to work with me on it, if you really felt like you didn't know, I'm willing to help you learn how to do it, because somebody had to teach. So just email me, and I'll put my email up. And if you want help on the side with that, I'm very happy to help you. Okay, so I'm trying to think of a couple of questions I was pondering last night when I was thinking about this interview. What would you say has been some of the hurdles? So a 501c3 is a nonprofit, as most everybody probably knows. And running a nonprofit, you have a lot of strings and rules to abide by. And you can't just say, oh, Lucretia Lake, you're having trouble with your van. Here's $200. So can you walk us a little bit, because I'm sure you want to help every single person who comes through that office or through the office door virtually, however it works. Tell us a little bit about how that process works.
Well, let me share with you a couple of other programs besides our community programs. We have an emergency fund program that's geared toward nomads, so that if somebody has an unexpected emergency, their transmission goes out unexpectedly. They can apply for funds, and we can provide those. The other thing that we do is we provide homes on wheels. So we just got finished awarding 4 recipients, in this case 4 women who were in need, that were on the edge of homelessness. Literally, they were going to be without shelter, or in one case, one woman was without shelter, and we gave them homes on wheels, minivans that were either donated, or the funds for them were donated, and then people would purchase things to furnish them with, a cot and shelving and things like that through an Amazon wish list. So you are extremely correct in that we are required to follow pretty strict ways of processing awards. So we have to have a pretty, what do I want to say, a protocol that's both transparent and follows certain accounting procedures. So, for example, when we have a process by which people apply for a minivan that includes collecting information from them about their finances. So we have them do a budget, we have them submit their 1040s, we have them provide us to show that they're eligible to get car insurance, that they have a driver's license, their ID, all kinds of documentation, because we haven't been yet, but it is a fact that 501c3s are audited.
Yep.
So our records are going to be audited, and that auditor needs to go in and see that we've followed our own protocol, and that our protocol meets these standards.
Yes.
And so everything is collected, kept in, for us, a electronic file, and then kept in a safe location with backups for when we do get audited.
Sure. And auditors, by the way, are not your friend. They're people there to find discrepancies. And so, you know, I understand. I've heard people say, well, things have changed. One of the gripes, if you will, is things have changed. Before, if somebody needed something, Bob just gave them money. Well, when you now answer to the government, and sometimes people make a decision, either I'm just going to act as my own entity and, you know, things fall where they may, or I'm going to start an organization that can help a greater majority. And there are strings attached to that, because when we ask the government into our lives, we know we're going to have a certain level of criteria that we meet. So I totally understand that. And I'll say Box Van D is in here, and she just talking about how she owes him a debt of gratitude. She watched him for 3 years constant, and then started doing YouTube. So I think many people, that is exactly how have gotten started, just by that seed being planted. And then, so here's another kind of left fielder, if you may. We'll soft it. Well, toss it to you as soft as I can, because I absolutely don't mean any disrespect to anybody, but who's getting rich there? Is there anybody getting rich in HOWA? I had to ask, Suanne. You know, it's just
there's nobody getting rich, I guarantee you. Both Bob and I, as co-founders, are volunteers. Bob is all of our trustees are volunteers. We have a board of 7 trustees, and they work their butts off, not just in doing the policy work that they are obliged to do as trustees, but they actually are getting in and actually doing some program work as well. So they're all volunteers. They cannot be paid. Legally, they cannot be paid. And so Bob is the president of the trustees, legally cannot be paid. Legally, I could be paid, but I'm not. So my work as the executive director is all volunteer. I have 2 employees, private contractors, that are about worth 1.75 FTE, full-time equivalent. So HOWA does have some paid staff, but they work, I say they're 1.75 FTE equivalent, and they work well over 40 hours a week, both of them. So the community, they love the program, they love the community, and so they're not getting rich, and for the money that they do get, they give much more. Yeah. I was looking at the trustees because I was, you know, did some research, and I want to just show these trustees to everybody. Because I think it's nice to recognize faces, and there's a couple faces that I recognize in there, and it gives me a sense of, you know, that this is so, people have taken a lot of trouble, gone to a lot of trouble to put those on this team as it's identified. We've got Joni Zander, and I've watched her YouTube. Brian Gifford, Bob, of course. There's Robert Kent. I don't know him yet. And Karen Battaglia, David Kramer. I think that David Cranmer. Right. And so, and these people and we do have a new trustee. Her name is Rachel Cat. She goes by Cat. Okay. So we just she just got approved this last Thursday. So we don't have her up there yet. Okay. Well, so you put people on that actually are nomads or live in some way the lifestyle of nomad living. Correct. And that seemed to me personally important, especially as we were getting started, because it is there's some nuances and restrictions that we have as nomads. That's not necessarily a goal to keep everybody on the board as a nomad, but certainly they would need to have an appreciation of the nomadic lifestyle. Yes, absolutely. Makes sense to me. Here's a question. Suanne, can people donate vans that are set up and ready to live in? My ultimate plan is to buy a van in a year and remodel it, and then donate my current van to a nomad in need. Yes, that's a really good question. We had actually an instance of that happened this last October. A woman in North Carolina, her name's Robin, and her friend David gave us a Honda Odyssey that was all built out, including, I mean, a bed and shelving and 200 watts of solar. And they drove it from North Carolina to here to Nevada, Crump, Nevada, and was able to give it to the recipient. So
I've
yes,
watched those. You know,
yes,
watching that be given is a very heartwarming experience, even not being physically present, but seeing those people who would
yes,
otherwise have potentially nothing, completely homeless and not
yes.
knowing what to do. By the way, most people, we're not born knowing how to build out a van. And there's people who know what we really need.
Yes, each of our minivan recipients is paired with a mentor, and that mentor spends 2 weeks going through a planned curriculum with that person to get them ready to be able to be successful, to be on the road. So they look at everything from budget to how to change a tire, check fluids, how to cook in a van safely, those kinds of things. So it really is quite intense.
There is so many pieces to the puzzle of nomadic living, and that could be a van, it could be a motorhome. I have desperately wanted to have our experience be in a van, but we both have pretty severe physical back issues, and I'm disabled mobility wise. I can walk, but it needs to be a safe area for me. And that kind of small living is a little bit too cramped. But
for two people, especially.
Yes, and I'm talking even like an extended Econoline, because I keep watching. I try and wait and see you guys build out an Econoline so that you can show me how we can make it work. But I wrote a letter to Bob one time in the last 6 months, and I asked him, I said, so I understand how these minivans, because by the way, I love minivans. I've had 3 Dodge Grand Caravans, and I love having the flexibility of them. I said, and I love how you build out these vans for one person, but do you honestly believe that 2 adults could live in there? Let's say they have another alternative. Do you think that it could be successfully done? My letter back to me was basically no. It's really, minivans are made for one person, unless it's an extreme, case where you're going to be sleeping in the rain. Of course, you find a way to make that work, but if you can do something different and there's 2 of you, do it. But it looks fun, by the way. I'm sorry, I may be one of the crazy people, but van living looks fun to me.
Well, it is. I don't know that I would use the word fun. It's very fulfilling.
I know. I said I was possibly one of the crazy people in the crowd. There is also the idea of, let's see, there was another question I had thought of. What would you say is there must be a barrier for some people in getting the help, or let me rephrase that. When someone, so the barriers can be that they just don't meet the qualifications. And I've heard Bob say, and I hate to constantly go back to Bob, I'm talking to you, but you are part of that whole process. So you understand that you guys as an organization do not want to make things worse for somebody. And right. you will, though, loan tents.
Right. So yeah, it is part of the emergency fund program. So if somebody is, let's say, they got evicted and they have a car and they haven't figured out how to, or maybe it's just impossible to sleep comfortably in the car.
Wow.
But it's big enough to carry a tent, a 6 foot with 6 foot long poles kind of thing. Then yes, we do have what the company that we go to is Spring Bar. And we get their tents. They're $600 tents, so they're not cheap. But the thing about them is they're canvas and they stand up to the desert wind. And so we will loan these tents to these folks until they can get their feet under them to get a vehicle that they can actually live out of. And so it's a tent car combination.
that real, because living, I've heard many nomads talk about, even if they are living in an RV or a van, that they live out of their vehicle. They don't generally live in their vehicle. They live out of their vehicle. I think the majority seem to be people who want to participate in their life in a way that connects them with nature.
Right. Right. For this segment of the mobile community, that's very, very true. Living out, in a Prius, I definitely live out of it.
Yes.
The whole of what is outside of me here on BLM land is my backyard. I drive my Prius, I sleep in my Prius, and I store things in my Prius, but I live outside.
Right. Right. I've watched your videos about that, and other people, there's a couple of people that live in their vehicles, and by choice, they live in a car by choice and travel because it's less expensive, and they're working their way into different size of vehicle. One lady started out in a sedan, and now she's in an SUV, paid cash for it because, by the way, there's ability to work on the road.
Right.
Do you guys have resources for that if somebody is looking for a job? I know separate from what you guys may be offering at HOWA, but a resource clearinghouse potentially for jobs.
We don't. We do have videos both on the Cheap RV Living channel and on the Homes on Wheels Alliance channel about work camping. So you can go and find out. And in fact, one of the first classes we're going to have at the RTR this year is on work camping.
Oh, cool.
Because a great place to find a work camping job in Quartzsite is at the Big Tent.
Yes.
So the RTR begins on the 14th. The Big Tent begins on the 16th. And the best time to get a job, to have first dibs, is to go on that 16th to the Big Tent.
Okay.
And there's going to be all kinds of concessionaires there that will hire you. So for the beet harvest, for Amazon, for campground hosting.
Yeah, that is also one of those things I found through Cheap RV Living was the Big Tent. And I was like, wow, this is just amazing, an amazing potential lifestyle. If you want to go spend, like one of the people that I follow is in Texas right now, work camping, and they were up in the Northeast work camping. So that's the perfect way, in my opinion. It's an opinion, and we know about opinions, but it's my opinion. It's a great way to see this country if you're not a trust fund baby, is to be able to work a certain amount of time of the year and travel around the rest, or stay put in a campground, and do that. It's just, there's so many options out there. Kaylee says that please let Suanne know that there are no items in the Amazon wish list. Ask when she might be putting things on the list.
Oh, I need to take that link off. I will be putting things on that list when we have another build. So we just finished awarding 4 minivans. We will do so again next April. Okay. So that is when items will be on the wish list. And we can't really put things on yet because we're nomads. And if you buy something, we have no place to store them because our rigs are not that big. And in addition, each recipient, we customize the wish list to their needs. So, and since we don't have recipients yet, we don't even have our applications open yet, we don't know what their needs will be.
Here's a great question, Suanne. Does Suanne have a YouTube channel? I have never seen it. Sissy's Journey.
That is a good question. And, to be on YouTube, you have to have a channel. I don't have any videos on it, though. Believe it or not, I spent all the time that I was volunteering for Cheap RV Living, making sure nobody knew who I was because I love my anonymity. And one of the big things that I had to come to terms with before I accepted the executive director position is I knew this would be a public figure, that I would become a public figure. So I have chosen to put all my video making efforts and leadership into the HOWA channel. So that is where that I would encourage you to go. And I'm on there every once in a while. I'm on Cheap RV Living live feeds every once in a while as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I like seeing all of you, several of you up there answering different questions, because I think one of the drawbacks to having done where this all started with Bob is that when you're the center of the universe, the world around you gets really, really small and crushing. And so I think in my mind, I can see how having a group of you, as opposed to one person who knows it all and tells everybody everything, that each person has a piece of the puzzle, and it doesn't feel like maybe it might not be so crushing to one individual. It might help spreading that out.
Right. Yeah. I really do love my comrades, the people I work with.
Yes, I see those. Thank you. I am friends with Suanne. That is Sissy's journey. She is friends with you. Is there so I'm going to ask you if you have anything that we haven't touched on, because I know you are extremely busy. I'm going to stay on longer. You're welcome to stay on as long as you want. We could pick your brain for all day long, and still there would be a very deep well there of information. Just trying to dispel some of the rumors. There's no RT, there is RTR, you aren't getting rich off of HOWA, and that there are people out there who really care about the nomad people and those who are living in whatever manner they're living, in a vehicle or out of a vehicle. And that, is you and the rest of you at HOWA.
Thank you. A couple of things come to mind. One is just a piece of housekeeping, and the other is kind of just kind of a fun piece of information. The housekeeping is, if you are a woman and interested in camping with me, the best place to find details about that is my personal Facebook page. So just look up Suanne Carlson in Facebook, and it is a public page, and you can check out the details there.
Okay.
On the post. So the fun piece of information is in January 2019, so almost 2 years ago, myself and a bunch of other old-time nomaders were extras in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a movie based on Jessica Bruder's book called Nomadland, and the movie is called Nomadland. So I had the privilege of going to a screening of it last September, hosted in LA, but by Telluride. And I am just so impressed with how Chloe Zhao, who directed the movie, portrayed us nomads. It is probably the most accurate portrayal I've ever seen on screen, a documentary or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And it has lots of Oscar buzz around it right now.
Oh, wow.
So it is amazing. It has a very good chance to win Best Picture, Best Director, Best Leading Actress. And by the way, the leading actress is Frances McDormand.
Oh.
She is the Oscar winner from the movies Fargo and Three Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri.
Yeah.
So so it was, kind of fun. Bob is listed as a co-star.
Oh.
So, and the way that Chloe, the director, works is that she has people essentially playing themselves. So Bob plays himself, and some really, really, really touching moments in the movie where he discloses some very personal information. And then two other nomad friends, Charlene Swanky plays herself, and Linda May, who is the protagonist of Nomadland, the book, plays herself.
Okay.
And Charlene's acting has been so good that in many circles in the Oscar community, she is being listed as a potential supporting actress.
Wow.
So, you know, as you can tell, this is like really fun stuff. Never in my whole life would I have thought and by the way, I have a little scene. I talk about buckets. So, you know, giving a class at the WRTR in this scene. So it comes out, it's scheduled to come out in theaters, and I don't know how they're going to do this, but it's scheduled to come out December 4th.
Okay.
And the only theater chain that I've seen anything about it on is AMC.
Okay.
So that's just
it's cool.
Just kind of a cool thing. Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
You know, it's more than cool. It gives some support to that this is a real life. This is a real lifestyle, and there's an alternative to the belief that the only way to live is, you know, a mortgage or rent, you know, getting things. My house that I live in here is a 3-bedroom house, family room, living room, 2 bathrooms. And, you know, it is an accumulation of 50 years that my parents had this house. It ain't all mine, but I just look around the room and it's just stuffed, you know, it's stuffed with stuff. And so this whole thing challenges me on what can I live with and what can I live without? You know, what do I really need? You know, there's some things I think we all know we really need, but there are things that matter to me. They're mementos. But that big picture behind me up there, that is a picture of my grandmother as a baby. Can I take that big picture with me when I go somewhere? No, it's going to my little sister's house. And, you know, things like that, understanding. So I'm excited to see it. And if it's in a theater, and I live in Oregon and we're in a semi-lockdown. No, there's no theaters open right now. If there's a theater open on the 4th of December, I will be sitting in the back row because it's easier for me to see from back there, or on TV, wherever it's going to be. I will be there to watch it. William Dickson says, how do you find out more about a van? Well, you go to HOWA, Homes on Wheels Alliance.
Are we talking about, this is William, if you're talking about a van, so your situation is that you can't afford one and you're on the edge of homelessness, then we will be opening applications for vehicles to live out of probably in February. So if you go to homesonwheelsalliance.org, you can look at that point in time for an application. If you're talking about finding a van just for yourself, you know, we use, when we buy vans for our clients, we use Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace to find vans.
Yep, that's you know, where I found a couple of the vehicles. So this question here, it's Nomadland. It's one word, correct?
It is.
Yep.
One word, Nomadland. And if you Google Nomadland, a lot of information about the movie will come up. Just literally, you can read almost any of the hundreds of reviews now, and all of them are glowing. And the cinematography is outstanding. I mean, the cameraman Josh just totally captured what it is like to be in nature. It's Bob says the sun should have had a credit as a co-star, because sunrises and sunsets are just gorgeous in this movie.
Oh, I bet they are. It's one of the things I love watching, just videos or camera work from someone who on their YouTube channel, is that kind of thing. There's one particular woman that I watch her evening when she shuts down, and she lives out of a van as well, you know, a small van, and she lives out of it, and so she'll get out every night, and she does commonly does a sundown video, a short sundown video. Minivan Lee is her name. Let's see. So William Dickson got that. Hey,
good.
Let's see, what else do we, any more questions? Fantastic Travel says the trailer looks amazing. I've seen the trailer too, and yes, ma'am, it looks amazing to me. I've known this movie was coming out, and I cannot wait to see it. So, you know, I know when we get done with this, I'm going to say, why didn't I ask that question? But I think we've covered everything. Is there, because I wanted to make sure people understood about RTR WRTR, and I went to on what HOWA does and what HOWA doesn't. It is not an organization for anything other than, you know, I live in a sticks and bricks, so my vehicle goes out. I don't call you and say, Suanne, I need I need a new tire. You know, I understand there are limits to what you can do and who you can do it for, and you really have to be a nomad, correct? That's one of the like there you have to work with one group of people, and you've chosen to make sure it is people who are living on the road.
Correct. That is correct.
Other than the van build. So the van build, anybody, so let's say I didn't have the money to get something and I was going to become homeless, you know, I was going to lose this home. I could apply for that van build, right?
You can. Yes.
That's the one caveat.
Right. And the intent is that you plan and will be a full-time nomad once you get that minivan.
Right. Okay. And I want to just backtrack to one thing that caught my attention when you were talking about having a mentor for the people who are going through this. Can you just explain a little bit? Are they also, obviously, they're probably nomads. And what does that entail? Because I know someone asked me about that the other day, and I said, I don't know really. Let's ask Suanne.
It entails somebody who is actively a nomad and has sufficient experience under their belt to be able to give instruction, knows how to do that in a way that is engaging. So, you know, we're not asking somebody to sit up and give a class, but rather have a discussion with the person that is being awarded the minivan. And we're by necessity, right now, well, even in the future, whoever we select to be a mentor has to be somebody that we are very, very sure of will be appropriate and not take advantage of the situation in any way. Okay. So, you know, these folks that are coming to get these vehicles are in often they're in crisis.
Yes.
And certainly, if not even in crisis, they're a very vulnerable situation. So we choose our mentors very carefully. Right now, it is, we're dependent on the people that we as HOWA staff know. I am in the process of looking for, and if you're interested in, you can apply. I'm hiring a volunteer coordinator. So I'm going to get the board approved another full-time position for me. In fact, and so that is, we need somebody to come in to help us with all this work that we have, to organize all these people that want to help. We have literally hundreds of volunteers that want to help, but not enough time to coordinate them. So we're hiring somebody to do that.
Can that be a remote position?
It certainly can be a remote position almost all of the time. When it is when we're having an event, chances are they're going to need to be physically here, at least in the spring and the fall for our builds right now. Okay.
So that's good to know. That's good to know. And I think, you know, we're over an hour for you, and I know you're busy, so I'm not going to keep you longer, Suanne, but I have to tell you, I've been looking forward to this interview because I absolutely respect and believe that the mission that HOWA has, and that those of you who are doing the work there are, it's irreplaceable. It's irreplaceable. And that is, you know, you're helping real life situations. It's not just something theoretical. It's real life human beings that are being affected by the work that you all are doing, and you're paramount to that. One last question. Suanne, when will there be another RAM provided free medical, dental, vision, which I read about and was awesome too?
So RAM is somebody that I volunteer for, another organization, and it stands for Remote Area Medical. They provide free medical, dental, and vision. Like us nomads, they travel and create their clinics. They call them pop-up clinics. In October, they have them here in Pahrump, Nevada. So very likely the next time they'll be in Pahrump is in October. But they have them all throughout the year across the country.
Mhm.
So to find out when and where the next clinics are, go to ramusa.org. That's ramusa.org, and check it out. And if they're really a wonderful organization to volunteer for as well.
Mhm. Okay. Yes, medical is imperative. People get, there has to be ability for people to get the healthcare needs that they need, and it's unfortunate. It has to be a, on wheels thing. Well, maybe it's fortunate. That was a rude thing to say, because people make choice to live nomadically and may not be able to be near a doctor. I have medical issues. I may need some help when I'm out on the road. So that was a rude thing to say, a thoughtless thing to say. It wasn't meant to be rude. It was a thoughtless thing to say. All right. Well, everyone is saying thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I appreciate this. And we've got the information for the volunteer position, which I know someone who's probably going to apply for it. And another person on here, I just think I can't wait to meet you guys. And someday I get to meet you all. And it's a bucket list. It is truly a bucket list thing to meet you and the rest of the team at HOWA. It's where my heart, I really have a heart for people who need help. And I hope to someday be part of your team. Really. I'm just saying that as an end tag thing. Not kissing up to you in any way. It's not who I am. But I genuinely, I've always thought I want to work with those people someday. Volunteer. It doesn't matter. Volunteer time, for gosh sakes. I don't need to make anything off of it. But all right. Well, thank you, Suanne. And I appreciate you coming up. And I hope maybe someday again you might come back if you have new information or just want to come in and say hello to the group of people.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Suanne. I'll drop
See you all later.
All right, dear. Bye-bye. Okay, so let's see who we've got left here. We've got 18 people in the house. Thank you for hanging out and staying with us. That was an amazing interview, if I say so myself. Suanne is a lovely lady, very smart and capable, and is doing hard work. They all do hard work at HOWA. That's an opinion of mine, but it's one of those times I think my opinion is right. So thank you, Kaylee, for keeping up on everything. And I'm just checking something here on my phone. It kind of helps me see where I'm at, although it's way behind. My phone is way behind. Okay, so let's see if we've got any questions. So what it looks like to me is that the RTR is going to be the January 14th through the 24th. And it's going to be virtual. It's still going to be an RTR. So let's get rid of the rumor. There is going to be an RTR. It is not going to be like normal. Duh. Okay? We're living in a time where there's many people who cannot take the chance of getting sick. And additionally, both Bob and Suanne are taking time off of HOWA, not HOWA connected. And they're going to be camping. And she gave the dates. Suanne is going to be from the 21st through the 26th. Suanne is going to be camping at Plamosa Road, the 21st through the 26th, for the ladies who might be interested in hanging out with her. Mask up. Stay 6 feet away. There's no reason people cannot get together unofficially without getting a permit, okay, and having to follow all the rules of that. So I think it's not a big stretch to figure out that they're trying to find a way to bring people together again. All right, and then the 28th through the 28th of January through the 3rd of February, Bob is going to be camping at Skadden Wash. Not necessarily with everybody, but he'll be there every day. And I have watched the video where he talks about that. So that's those are important pieces of information. Also, if you want to be connected to Suanne more, Facebook is the best way, other than the YouTube channel for HOWA. She is involved in that. And I'm just looking at my notes here, guys. because I wrote them down kind of quick. And I think that's, and the big tent starts on the 16th. So if you're looking for work, if you want to do work camping, if you want to do other kinds of things, whether it be working in a park possibly, or doing the beet harvest, or working for Amazon, or one of the many things that is out there, gate camping. I've seen people do gate work where, you know, different levels of that, by the way. So people will get hired, and I've been in those videos where I see people getting hired for those things, and then watching their videos, by the way, doing the work. RTR is January 14th through the 24th. January 14th through the 24th, and the WRTR is approximately the 24th to the 26th. So there will be some separation of that. All right. Let's see, Tumbleweed RV Life. Glad you're here. Thank you for coming in. Let's see, where did that go? It was a great session, lots of good information. Thank you, Lucretia and Suanne. This was wonderful. I absolutely try to bring people that have something to offer us, and she absolutely has something to offer. James Cantonese is same dates as Papa Drew's meetup. Okay, yeah. So there's no reason people, I don't know the distance of all this because I'm not familiar with Arizona. I'm going to map it out though, because I want to be able to participate in all of it. My goal is to be out of here like December 27th and heading to Arizona. There's no reason to stay. I want to get on the road. And so if the dates coincide, it just means the more people will be able to do more things. And there will be a variety of things. Maybe people can get together and watch the live shows on it's going to be on Homes on Wheels. So the virtual classes, which there will be a list of, the virtual classes will be on the Homes on Wheels Alliance YouTube channel. So hopefully people who are camping together can hang out, watch those classes, and then participate in that. It's my hope that people help support it in that way. That's just me. Only because I think they're doing great work for people. And so that's what I know. Tumbleweed RV Life, been listening through. James Cantonese, so we got that. Oh, hello, Victoria May Wallace. I'm glad you're here. And there's Suanne Carlson's Facebook page. Camp Goer 1, hello to you. Where are V staying? James Cantonese again. Your neighbor. Oh, cool. Camp Goer 1. Skadden Wash is a very, very bad road. So if anyone goes out there, drive slowly down the road. That road tore up my Toyota front end. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Okay, so I have heard. So even though I've never been, I listen to people. And I also watched a video where someone at the RTR 2 years ago had this big Class A, and they took it over a ditch, a big ditch, by the way, and they had to get help out. The lady needed help, and it was nighttime, by the way. So whatever I have, I promise I won't be rude and get myself into a bad situation that I have to beg someone to come and help me out because I was not bright enough to make sure I could maneuver the place I was trying to get to. Kaylee, HOWA social media links can be found here. And William Dickson, you ought to do the, seriously, you ought to do the talent show that they're going to be doing. Seriously, you have a beautiful voice. Everybody loves you. All right. So was there any information that I did not cover? Do you think there's some questions that didn't get answered? Because I tried to cover everything. I know some of the things that are said out there. I try to keep my ear on the pulse of the community in my eye. That was cute. Where did it go? James Catanese, have watched the wash there. And the HOWA videos on YouTube. Well, hello, Doreen. Thank you for coming in. We just interviewed, as you might have seen the thumbnail, we just interviewed Suanne, the Executive Director of HOWA, Homes on Wheels Alliance. HOWA does have a merch shop. Skadden Wash is just that, a wash. It has very low dips, as well as monsoon season, it will flood. Got to be careful. I've heard that too. I've seen, you know, what months is monsoon season in? Just curious. Thank you, Dee. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Ava Potterfield. This was a great interview. Suanne was, you know, she's so much information, and she's such now a frontliner for HOWA. I see her always with Bob, and that's important because I think late summer is monsoon. Okay. My sister lived in outside of Phoenix for about 13 years. She worked around Phoenix and lived there, and but I never did go visit her. So she knows, you know, these areas, but she never was a part of this community in any way. Campotherapy. Sorry, I missed it. I was editing video for was. Hey, you know what? It happens. We all have work to do. I had to do some stuff yesterday, or was it Saturday? The days are running together right now. Camp Goer 1. See, I'm getting your name right now. I see you enough that I'm getting your name in my head. Camp Goer 1. End of spring through summer, all depends. We didn't get rain here this year at all. Strange. Yeah. So we go back. I'm telling you, if you have an interest in HOWA, in the RTR, the women's RTR, any of that, that was, I have to say, Suanne cleared up all of the questions I had. Now, if there's something that I didn't get, but you wished I had asked, let me know. So maybe I can chat with her privately and find out, especially if it's something pertinent to what's coming up. Okay, Dee, thank you for coming by. Always appreciate having you here. So is there anybody who might like to come up and chat about this or anything else pertinent to your world of RVing, of camping, of trying to get out there? I'm going to drop a link. I always say that, and then it takes me about 5 minutes to remember. It's my responsibility to drop the link. Oh, I know what I was going to show you guys also. Well, after I drop this link, paste. Where did paste go? Paste. There we go. Yeah, one room clean out, getting there, be full-time, 7 more to go. 7 more rooms. I have to go through this house. It is my responsibility. It is my parents' house. My mom passed 30 years ago. My dad passed this last April. And it is my responsibility. And I still have not finished it up. William Dickson. All right. You want to give me a wave when you're ready? Okay. Hey, William, how are you doing?
I'm doing great since I get rid of this other thing. There. Now can you see me better?
I see you perfect.
Good. Hey, all I need to know when the date is, and I'll come sing for you guys anytime you want.
Well, so we'll have to get the link for how it's going to be through Homes on Wheels Homes on Wheels. No, well, the RTR. It's going to be part of the RTR, but it's going to be virtual, so you don't have to go. You can. What I understand is you can do it from wherever you're at. Anybody who has a talent can apply to be on there. So I hear a little feedback, but it's not bad. go on the art, excuse me, the HOWA website and find the RTR information.
Okay.
Let's see if Kaylee listens to the facts, ignore the rumors, and
I'll have to write that down. Pinto.
I'm just going to read through a couple things. Yes, listen to the facts, ignore the rumors and misinformation. Rewatch the interview later. Go to HOWA website, get facts. Kaylee is 110% correct.
So I got to go to HOWA, HOWA.
Actually, they spell it out. It is Homes.
Yeah,
Alliance.
I got that part.
Okay.
And then go to the, what was the other part?
RTR.
RTR. Okay. And then what I'm supposed to do there?
And then I haven't been to that particular site yet, so I'm not sure, but there's a link. My assumption is there's a link to the talent show on that site. And so just look for talent, or even maybe put in a search for talent show, because they call it a talent show.
Okay.
Oh, here, I believe Kaylee dropped the link for it. So it's in the chat. So
okay, let me write down what she's got.
Okay.
RTR. What is that again?
That is, and then it is
HTTPS
colon //
I got that.
Homes on Wheels Alliance.
HOMES Homes
on
ON
Wheels
ELLS
WHEELS. Homes on Wheels WH.
Wait a minute, I only put one E. It's two E's, ain't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Homes on Wheels Alliance. ALL IA NCE
NCE
.org.
.org.
/
Wait a minute.
Okay.
ORG.
Like org.
ORG.
/
Slash
2021 RTRS.
RTRN.
S as in Sam. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So we've got Homes on Wheels Alliance.org / 2021 RTRS.
Okay.
So you should be able to get to it from there.
Okay. I will get to it.
All right. I hope you will do. You will do your thing, and you will.
I definitely will. And when was the date again? January.
I don't know the date of the actual contest, but the RTR is January 14th.
January 14th.
Yep, through the 24th.
Through the 24th. Okay.
And I believe when I watched her and Bob last week, they said that the talent show would be the last day.
Okay.
The 24th.
Well, I'll have to see whether I'm going to be on the road to Arizona that weekend or not, because that's the weekend we may be going out there to Quartzsite.
Oh, cool. That's really nice.
I'm going to try to get out there. That's why, one of the things that I know you guys didn't see it, but I put on there that I'm disabled.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know what disabled can get me in the way of getting into a van.
So I'm disabled too. I can walk.
Yeah.
Can you walk?
I can too. I walk with a cane.
Okay. I occasionally, if I'm going to walk a distance, I have to use a walker.
I do too. I've got one of those too. I call mine a roll leader.
A rollator. Well,
Yeah.
that's cute. So do you have a vehicle that you want to use to sleep in?
I have a
Is
car. I have a car right now,
Uh-huh.
but you know, if we can get a, you know, Jim's having a, hard time getting, the money to get. We're trying to get the money together, so and if they come through with that stimulus, we wouldn't, we'd have the money, but we don't know when we're going to get that.
Right.
That's the hardest part right there,
Sure.
and so.
Well, it does. Unfortunately, it does take money, and
Oh yeah, we know that.
that is a hard thing for most of us to come by.
Yeah, that's what and excuse me, and you'll have to forgive my dirty face, but
I can't see it. All I can see is the beard.
well, that's what I said, my dirty face.
Oh.
I decided I wanted to grow a little bit of a beard and see what people thought of it, and if they, if you say it doesn't look good on me, I'll take it off.
I think
I'm sure.
looks fun. You look. It makes. I think it looks really good, actually.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay, thank you. And did you see on there that I put on there that you can sing too, girl?
I do know how to sing some.
Well,
I don't sing much.
No. Don't go there. You can sing pretty good yourself. Don't go there. I've heard you sing. You can sing pretty good.
I can.
I know you can.
I miss singing. I love when I go to church. It's one of the places I love to sing. I love to sing in church.
But churches don't sing that old stuff anymore.
Ours sings one every.
Yeah, well,
that's not enough.
the church that I go to now, it sings one or two, but it's like they just gone away from the old stuff, And
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I can't say much, I'm just glad that I can get out and go,
Right.
with my. Oh, I don't know if I told you, I got a car since I talked to you last.
I didn't know that. What kind you got?
I got a 2006 PT Cruiser.
Oh, how do you like it?
Oh, I love it.
Good.
I love it. I just got new brakes put on the front. Cost me $300, but I had them. But I'll tell you what, I do not regret getting it. I only paid $1,300 was the price. Okay,
Wow.
I got it off of a private owner, but I figure after all the money that I put into it, I figure about maybe a little over $1,700 altogether after I put everything, all the other money into it. So I was glad I had, still had my, that stimulus money that came in, and I still had my rent rebate,
Oh, good.
So, that helped me get this car. My car's name is Mr. Red.
Mr. Red?
Yeah,
Oh, is it red?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's red, so I call it Mr. Red.
Be
Hey,
careful.
hey, you're talking to somebody that's been driving since he was 16 years old, girl.
Uh-huh.
And I took my driver's test on the iciest roads you've ever been on.
Wow.
So, I tell everybody else that, to be careful. Because this what I mean, yeah, I'd be as careful as I can be. I'm not kidding, not kidding or anything like that. I know what you're saying, but let me tip this back down. I don't know. This thing over here looks like the thing down here looks like my chin's cut.
Yeah.
Got my cut off at the chin, and this one up here, looks better than that one up there.
Well, Victoria May Wallace says she hopes to see you at her karaoke night. She's starting a karaoke night on Wednesday nights. So if somebody could drop Victoria's link, I don't know if she's a moderator. I'll look and see. But if not, if somebody could drop her link, that would be great.
Yeah, somebody's gonna have to drop her link because I'll have to remember that. Because
Um,
I'm usually not around on Wednesday night, so.
Okay, well, she's doing karaoke on Wednesday nights, and let's see what else people are saying. Victoria, sorry if I missed someone saying hello. Okay, so,
So I said hello back, if she says
yeah.
hello.
Oh, James Cantonese, I do donuts myself. So James Cantonese walks with one leg,
I know. I know
so
he does. I know he does.
he points that out.
Believe me, I can vouch for him. I know him and I have known each other for over 40 some years. Him and I are the best of friends. The best of,
Wow.
and I mean, we call each other buddies, and it's like. And I was telling Kaylee that her cat looks exactly like mine, that black and white cat.
Uh-huh.
Only thing is her cat is a female, mine's a male. But I'm telling you what, you want to talk about twins.
Uh-huh.
Got that white stripe right down the front, just like that, just like my cat, the whole thing.
I don't have a cat right now. The last cat I had passed about 10 years ago, and I've not wanted another cat. I do have a beagle right now. She's 21 years old.
Oh,
she still
my.
runs around like she's a puppy.
Wow.
And she was just to the vet, and they thought she was very healthy. She has dental disease, but she's 21 years old, for God's
Well, I
sake.
mean, yeah, what's dental disease? That ain't much of anything, is it?
Well, she's probably going to have some teeth pulled.
Oh.
But I thought that she was really sick, but she's doing fine. She just had probably a little virus like humans get, and she just was sick.
Yeah.
So she's good today. That's all that matters.
I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed sitting back here and listening to that, Susan, and I got a lot of information out of it. There was a lot of things that I didn't know, and I was really glad to sit back and listen to a lot of it, and I threw in a few, But yeah, I've got that January 14th, the 24th written down, and like I said, I have to find out, when we're going to be on the road, and if we're on the road, I won't.
We'll be able to, but that's at least you have some information that might be helpful or might not, but at least you've got it.
Oh yeah. If I'm still here, I'll get on there. But you know me, I still love to sing. I miss it.
Yes, you do.
I miss it. I miss it.
I know. I miss singing. I miss singing too. Sometimes I miss it more than others, but
and they said that they stopped it because they said, that a lot of people weren't enjoying it anymore. I said, no, that's not the problem. They got tired of, it being KT one time and Jerry one next time, and what's his name?
Gary.
Yeah, Gary, and then it goes back to it was getting pushed around all over the place. That's what I don't know that to me that's what I didn't like about it was just getting pushed around there to everybody, and a lot of people were losing their interest in it.
Well, I think they were just trying to help each other out because I know that KT had really bad cell service where he moved to, and Jerry was taken over for a while, and then he went through some stuff, and then Gary, Daydream About Nice Things, took it over for a few times. So, oh boy, it was definitely tossed around. I know that I have a hard time finding, like when I'm used to something being on one channel, and then maybe there's a collaboration, and they switched back and forth to another channel. I get confused easily. So
Well,
I'm better when it's something that's solid. Like I know that on Wednesday nights, Victoria is going to have her thing. So if it's every Wednesday night, I will be more prone to be able to be there because my schedule will start being planned in advance for Wednesday nights.
Okay.
9 o'clock, I have my excuse
As
me.
far as I know, I won't. I'll try to be there. It depends on my girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Well, bring your girlfriend too. Have her maybe do a duet. Here is a link to Victoria's karaoke night.
She don't sing. I tell you right now, she don't sing. She don't like to even hear me sing sometimes.
Victoria says, no, you will not, and I would love to hear you sing, James Kennedy.
James can sing pretty good sometimes too. He's got a pretty good, I tell you what, this pandemic, I pray every day that this pandemic would be over with. I really do.
Yes.
It's just, I know God's got a plan, but I hope that this pandemic would end real soon, because it's just, you get, I don't know, it's just, I know he's got a plan, but it's just, I don't know, to me, I think it's too many people dying.
Oh, yeah.
And, James wants to know what girlfriend. I'm not telling you.
Sounds like William has been busy. He's got a girlfriend, for God's sakes. James?
He doesn't know.
Victoria says, sing out loud. Don't worry if it's not good enough for anyone else to just sing. And
Well, that's like every time I sing Amazing Grace, I sing it from the heart, because that was my wife's favorite song.
uh-huh.
And, I try not to cry every time I sing it, but I end up with a few tears. I lost her this January. Will be 15 years ago that I lost her,
Oh, wow.
and I miss her so much.
I can imagine. You probably were together a long time.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: this past September, 40 years.
Oh, wow, yeah.
40 years.
I know my husband and I just passed our 30, I think we've been married 36 years.
Yeah.
And we've been together 38. So, it's a long time to be, I've been
Oh,
with
yeah.
him longer than
I know what I know what you're saying. A lot of people say, well, why don't you, I've got a picture right up there, right in on my dresser. I've got a picture in my wallet, and every time I get up in the morning, I say good morning to her. Every time I go to bed at night, I say good night to her. And, some people say, well, why don't you, just turn the picture, take the picture off and just put it away. I said, no, I can't do that to her. She's been my life. She's been my life more than anybody else. She's done more to me than most people, except for Jim.
Victoria said her and Kenny have been together for 24 years.
I've never even seen her husband. That's the thing. Every time I've seen her singing, I said, and I seen that picture of that guy. When her picture comes up, I seen the picture of that guy. I said to myself, is she married? Is she married? And I finally asked James about it, and he said, yeah, she's married. I said, oh, okay. I said, but I've never seen him walk by or anything like that, so he must work strange hours, because I've never seen him.
Well, I got to let my dog out.
Okay.
Come on, Becky. Come on, baby girl. Come on, baby. Your mom's baby girl. There you go. I am an animal person. I love animals so much. Hey, so we've got Barefoot Adventures is here. Thank you for coming by.
I love Barefoot.
Yep. So do you do camping right now at all?
Not yet. I'm hoping that I can get out there to Portside I'm hoping that we can get out there to courtside. I mean, I want to come out there because what Jim told me, how many people is going to be out there, I said, my God, I can't wait. He said,
So here's Kenny's channel. It's Ken Mo's For You is Kenny's channel. It's Ken and Mo's For You. Very simple, easy to remember.
okay.
Yeah, our goal is to be heading out of this town at the like the day after Christmas. I want on the road. So I'm going to be in some way on the road. Do you have a song you'd like to sing for us?
Sure, I can sing whatever song you want.
You choose the song. It's what's in your heart to sing today.
Okay. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
And I have a feeling there's a lot of clapping going on right now because that was beautiful. And that is one of my very favorite songs. I love if you don't like Silent Night, I think something's probably wrong with you.
Well, that's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites.
It is. It's a beautiful, beautiful song.
And here's a good one for you. Believe it or not, I don't know how to read.
You don't know how to read?
No.
How did that happen? Do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I am 65 years old.
Okay. So you're not much older than me. I'm 58, 59. Good Lord, I'm 59 years old. So how did it be that someone who is just 5 years older than me does not know how to read? Because did you not go to school?
Oh yeah, I graduated.
You graduated and you didn't know how to read?
And I don't know how to read. But you ever remember when you're sitting there in church and you listen to the words? That's how I remember what the words were.
Well,
Oh Lord my God, when thou in awesome wonder consider all the worlds that might have changed. Wait a minute. Stop, Bill. I'm singing that wrong. Oh Lord my God, when thou in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thou might have changed, consider all in thou in every manner. I'm singing it wrong and I know it. Let me go to the verse then. How great thou art, how great thou art. Boy, that's terrible.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of words to that song, and
I'm trying to remember all the words.
Someone mentioned on here, where did he go? I think it was James said you were 109. Oh goodness! And Victoria quit school 2 weeks after 7th grade.
Well,
so I went all the way through high school. I did I did finish high school, but I didn't do college till I was 49 years old. I started college at 49.
Well, good for you.
So
Good for you.
I had to be old and willing to do something
Good
different.
for
'Cause
you.
when it was time for me to be in school, I was way distracted with other things in life. You know, there
Yeah.
was much more fun things to be doing than homework. Shanna Kraft, you only said that, James, because he has
Oh,
that he couldn't.
she's that Hawaiian girl.
Shanna?
Not Hawaiian. Excuse me, she's not Hawaiian. Um, oh my God, Indian girl.
Oh, okay.
I think that's an Indian girl if I remember correctly or not. If
I'm
I'm
not sure.
Uh,
So
tell
are
her,
you?
tell her I said HOWA.
Oh, she can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see if she responds back. If she says HOWA back to me, she knows what I said.
So do you what do you have anything planned for Thanksgiving?
I'm gonna be right here where I'm at right now. I
Okay.
got myself a real small ham, and I'm gonna be cooking potatoes, and I'm throwing it up on the air, and whether if I'm gonna have green beans or if I'm gonna have corn. Me and my cat. He's over there sawing logs.
Isn't your girlfriend going to be with you?
No, no. She says I'm staying home.
I'm
She's,
go ahead.
she said she's staying home and going to probably her parents.
Uh, I'm going to be having dinner at my house. We're ordering it in. It's Sherry's Restaurant. I have never done that, but there's four of us: me, my son, our roommate, and my husband. So there's four of us, and one of them does not really eat meat because it makes him sick. But he said he may eat some turkey on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So that's what I've ordered a dinner from a decent restaurant. We've got 2 different pies coming, and so it's for four of us. It's $100. And
Wow.
I'll tell you, I've made Thanksgiving dinner for the last. My mom died 31 years ago.
Hmm.
I made Thanksgiving dinner for our family since. Okay,
Yeah.
so $100 is cheap for me. You know,
Yeah.
normally I could.
Yeah, because I know what you're saying. Because if you look at it, and you buy a turkey, they're anywhere between $20 to $30 just for the turkey alone.
Yep.
That's not counting the potatoes. That's not counting and all the other stuff. So yeah, I know what you're saying. And if you look at it, you're spending about that much
Yeah.
after everything you
I
give.
don't know how much left over there will be, but I'm ordering for 4 to 6 people.
Well, that's
Looks like Lance is back here. I don't know. They've gone boondocking with Boomer, and then Susan has stopped in. Hey, Susan.
hey girl.
Willaim has graced us with a couple of songs here towards the end of the show. I'm gonna sign off at 2:00, and that's coming up shortly.
2 o'clock.
Yep. My
It's
time.
it's almost 4 o'clock here.
I'm Pacific time because I'm in Oregon, so it's 2:00. It'll be 2:00. Yeah, I run behind everybody. So
All right. Okay. How about if I sing you one more song?
you sing one more song, and then I'll
All right.
drop you down.
Okay. You'll get rid of me. There's a lighthouse on the hillside that overlooks life's sea. When I'm lost, it sends a light that I can't see. And the light that shines in darkness now will safely lead me o'er. If it wasn't for the lighthouse, tell me, where would this ship be? Everybody that lived around us, they said to tear that lighthouse down. The big ships, they don't sail this May anymore. There's no use in attending round. Then my mind goes back to that stormy night when just in time I saw a light. Yes, a light from that old lighthouse that stands up there on the hill. And I thank God for the lighthouse. I owe my life to Him, for Jesus is the lighthouse, and from the rocks of sin He has shone the light around me, that I might clearly see. If it wasn't for the lighthouse, tell me, where would this ship be?
Thank you so much, William. And Victoria wants to make sure you, if you can, come Wednesday night.
All right, I'll try.
All right. Thank you so much for coming up, William. I'm going to
All right, bye-bye.
Come back, please. All right. Well, that was an unexpected gift, having him come up and sing, because that's such a, it's such a good feeling to have the warmth of those songs for me. So Kaylee is making a great point. Oh goodness, I thought I turned my phone off. Dang phones. So let me get above that. Please come back, grab the links, share the facts about RTR. The RTR is happening, but it is virtual. If you came in the room late, it's virtual, which actually I don't think, I would prefer to meet people face to face, but if they're trying to find a way to get the information out to those who want it and people who need it. So they're making an effort, and it's having to, as we all know, we're living in a world where things are upside down, and they're trying to find a way to get this information out to people, and it's going to be virtual, and it's going to be on the Homes on Wheels Alliance YouTube channel. So if you're not a friend of Homes on Wheels Alliance, I suggest you go there and find them and make them your friend and tell them that Burning Up the Roads, or Butter, B-U-T-R, sent you. And yeah, that's where it's going to be. And it's going to be the January 14th through the 24th. So it's going to coincide with the family reunion with Papa Drew. And that way people can also get together wherever they're at and maybe watch some of these, off my face, watch some of these independently, together, and they'll have a list of what's going to be on and who's going to be doing it. And I'm excited to see who the presenters are going to be. And then a little bit later on at the end of the month, so Bob and Suanne are going to take leave of absence from HOWA. Okay, they cannot have anything organized. They're not going to be getting any kind of permits. They are doing this out of the desire they each have to hang out with people. So independently of HOWA, nothing organized. Suanne is going to be camping at Plamosa Road the 21st through the 26th of January. So right after the RTR, Suanne is going to have she's going to be camping, and people can come and join her. Unofficially. And someone's going to have to show me how to use my phone, how to fix things like I don't want any calls on it. It shows it's off, but my gosh, it's ringing. And so, and then right after Suanne, Bob is going to be camping in the area of Skadden Wash the 28th through February 3rd. And he's going to be in the area, and every day he's going to come in and kind of hang out with the people who are there. And that's their way of making that connection that's missing from what the gripes are that I hear and the things, and I think it just comes from people really enjoyed hanging out together and doing that whole thing. So they're trying to find a way to do it. And I for one am grateful that they're making that effort. So I recommend not just to watch this again, but if you missed it and you're interested in any of that stuff, go back and watch it again, and you will get that information. And that might help clear up some misinformation. I need to also say something. Yesterday, Ruby's Life in Oregon, thank you for coming so much. And Shanna Craft, I don't know if I said hello. And thank you, Kaylee, for following these things very closely like you did. And bye, Vicky. So yesterday, at the last 45 minutes or so of my live stream, there was a conversation on here that was, there was an ugly word used about our incoming vice president. She was called a very ugly word. I need to say straight up, it caught me off guard, and I apologize that I didn't pounce on that word and that person saying it, because that's not appropriate. It doesn't matter if I voted for them or not. It's beside the point. One of the problems this country has that I can see at 59 years of age is that we are you against me, I'm against you, them against us, they, us. If that does not stop, and if people don't put a stop to it in their own world, it's going to grow and get worse and worse and worse. And I don't want to live in that kind of world. So I made an error of judgment because I was caught off guard. And it's not that I'm not able to stand up to people, because I'm quite capable of it. As that I'm trying to walk this line of being kind to everybody, but I let people down, in my own opinion, last night when I didn't jump on that word being used. And it'll never happen again on my channel. So I don't want anybody to feel attacked because I just don't want political conversation. If I decide to talk politics, I will start another channel. And I'll let you all know what it is so you can choose to come or not. That's not what I'm saying I'm going to do. I'm just saying, in my opinion and my experience as a 59-year-old woman in a world that is deeply divided, if I were to allow that kind of thing to continue, I need to go somewhere else and do it. That's not what this channel is about. So I feel embarrassed that I didn't say something right then and there. And that's on me. It's my channel. It's not anybody else's job. Yes, I have moderators. I have great moderators. Kaylee is a fantastic moderator. And I appreciate every one of you so much. So I don't want to drone on about it. There's not going to be anything, no hate speech here. It just can't happen. I just can't. Again, it doesn't matter. I don't give a crap who you voted for. I love you for who you are, that you show up, you support this channel, and that you support each other. All right? I don't need people around that are going to be dragging others down. I don't have the energy for that. Or I would finish my master's degree and I would be a public policy analyst in healthcare. But I don't have enough life left in me, I don't think, to get involved in that. It will cut me short because it's just that world is an ugly world. All right, Kaylee, you're welcome. Honey, I was caught off guard, and I think you were caught off guard. So, all right. So I appreciate everybody. I am going to be on Thursday live because, as I said, I'm not making Thanksgiving dinner. It's coming to me, and we're going to heat it up. And we're having Thanksgiving dinner like about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So I will be on, and I may be on longer than 1 hour. And I may be on, and people can come and go. And if people want to come and sing, feel free to come and sing. I'm going to put out a thumbnail that invites people to just come, show up, especially if you don't have anywhere to go and you are bored or you're feeling lonely. This is the place to be because we care about you. I genuinely care about you. And I think I'm going to apply for that HOWA job because I've always wanted. I don't care what people say about it. I believe it's a great organization, and there ain't nothing going to change my mind about it. So I am saying goodbye. I'll see you on Thursday. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of the week. I hope that all of your Thanksgiving your Thanksgiving time is spent in a way that is helpful to you. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. I love you. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Stay safe and stay healthy. And I will see you in a couple days.